Well, today marks the beginning of the 2016-2017 school year, and while no major incidents occurred, there was some difficulty with DPW school buses arriving late to their destinations. PNC's Tim Blas-McHenry has more.
It's the start of the school year for most public schools, and right now we're on the campus of one of the most populated high schools here on Guam, JFK, the newly renovated JFK. We're out here in the beautiful courtyard as it's quiet right now because most of the students are in class. But we also spoke to the acting superintendent, Joe Sanchez, to see how everything went on the first day of school.
The school year is officially underway, and for acting superintendent Joe Sanchez, no major glitches were reported. However, Sanchez does say that some principals were reporting that DPW school buses were a bit behind schedule.
So we did get reports that there may be some late buses after school, but the good thing about that is DPW is actually calling the schools and informing them. So there's a lot of communication between, bus operations and our school principals that at least allows the school to prepare if there are any issues regarding what time the students are going to be picked up at the school site.
Once one bus is late, it causes a chain reaction. Sanchez says buses were late to some elementary schools and high schools, and likely some middle schools as well. He says school principals do have a direct line of communication with DPW bus operators. And with a new bell schedule, Sanchez says they made DPW aware of what to expect on the first day of school. He expects these glitches to be worked out after a couple of days. Additionally, though, lingering issues did remain at some schools, especially with the heavy rains. Sanchez says students and administrators at certain schools faced flooding and leaking. Sanchez says at some point GWE is going to have to stop using Band-Aids to fix these problem schools.
But the short-term fixes can only last for so long. Yeah. And as much as the students and the schools are kind of used to the situation, and even though they do so much to make sure that the students are safe and they make sure that they don't, they're not running in the hallways. In fact, when I was at Agata, the principal's kind of out there reminding everybody, be safe and don't run and so forth. But that can only last for so long. I mean, at some point we're going to have to, understand that this is going to take a substantial amount of resources to get those areas fixed.
This is also the first year public schools will be without school resource officers.
The thing is that the school staff already kind of have their supervision duties, and they're kind of already good at kind of making sure that they're watching what happens when students transition from classroom to classroom and so on. So it's a basic part of our operations. We do miss the SROs, and we're working very, very hard and trying to get them back as quickly as possible. But our schools are resilient, and they know how to kind of address regular student issues.
For PNC News, I'm Tim Blas-McHenry.
Sanchez says he cannot give a timeline for when the SROs will be selected, but he says GDOE does have a vendor, and they are just waiting to award the contract.